How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, ladies and gents, we're going to be taking a look at some new Pokemon Legends Arceus leaks. There's been loads of stuff, and we're going to take a look at everything. Now, I won't be showing you images of any Pokemon or stuff like that. Any actual gameplay will not be shown. I'll just be reading all the tweets, and I'll be blurring when I have to blur it and all those things like that, just so you guys know. Be aware of that. Also, we have a new setup going on here, guys. So, I want you guys to do me a favor. If you want to have your comment featured, tell me, how many Pokemon can you spot in the background right here? Some of them are hidden, but how many can you spot? That's the big old question. How many can you spot? Let me know in the comment section down below every single Pokemon you can see in the background here. Now, let's get into the news, shall we? Starting off with everything that's been posted by Centro. Now, like I said, I'll be blurring parts of it. If it's images showing up that, I can't show you, I'll be blurring that. But for the most part, we're going to, just show you off everything we've got right here. So let's start by, first of all, unblurring this, and here we go. So this is the first thing we're going to take a look at, which says final PLA mission. The final PLA mission, seek out all the Pokemon there are to meet, then play your flute upon the days of the Temple of Sinnoh. And if you do this, something will happen. Also, spoiler, here's a full list of all the story missions. Spoiler warning, the link contains spoilers to the whole story of Legends Arceus. So if you don't want to get spoiled, do not click that link. Also, he says, holy shit, Legend Plate, a stone tablet imbued with the essence of all creation. When used on a certain Pokemon, it allows that Pokemon to gain power of every type there is, which is insane. Then there's also the Blank Plate, which is a stone tablet imbued with the essence of normalcy. When used on a certain Pokemon, most likely Arceus in this case, or Arceus as you like to call him, it allows that Pokemon to gain the power of normal type. We continue on. The Grigious Core, as well as the Lustrous Globe and the Adamant Crystal. When used on Dialga, this large glowing gem wells with power and allows the Pokemon to change form. The Lustrous Globe, when used on Palkia, this large glowing orb wells with power and allows the Pokemon to change form. I don't know if it's a change from its their like Lord forms or like their origin forms. If it's to change from those over to like their normal forms or vice versa, but either way. And the Grigious Core, of course, also I think is there for Giratina as well. So yeah, and apparently according to the guys over at Poryleaks, Volo might have a Giratina at the end of the game. It's not confirmed though, but possibly. All right, so we're gonna blur for a second here and scroll a bit further up to get more stuff we can look at. So here we go. We're like further up now. Let's go. So next up, we're starting from the bottom here. So Feather Ball, a ball that flies fast and a true ideal for catching nimble Pokemon or Pokemon that fly high in the air. So the Feather Ball is for catching essentially flying Pokemon. That's at the bottom right here. You guys can see that post. Then he says, new stat system. Each stat has an effort level that can go from 1 to 10. You can use these new items to raise this value. The item required changes depending on the current value. So Grit Dust, 0 to 2. Grit Gravel, 3 to 5. Grit Pebble, 6 to 8. And then Grit Rock is 9. So basically these different like rocks you can use to actually increase the stats of your Pokemon, and the effort levels can go between 1 to 10, right? Which is the new stat system. Secret Medicine is a new item, I think. An astonishing medicine that instantly restores health to any Pokemon. It's produced by Apothecary in Cyanwood City. So Cyanwood City, interesting. So Cyanwood, I guess, City is in the game. Some new consumables. Twice Spiced Radish. These pickled vegetable prime a Pokemon for battle. This Pokemon takes a hard-hitting stance, which boosts the power of the Pokemon's move by 50%. That's actually kind of nuts. Swap Snack. When eaten, this curious snack temporarily swaps a Pokemon's offensive stats with its defensive stats. And Choice Dumpling, a dumpling that will make a Pokemon become fixated on a move in battle. The Pokemon will deal more damage when using that move, but will take more damage as well. Continuing further up, Galar already existed back then. So what he's trying to say here, people mistook this and misunderstood it, but basically what's being said here, and also shout out by the way to Poryleaks. By the way, shout out to my boy Eclipse. His Twitter account got nuked, by the way. Nintendo Ninjas got him. But also shout out to El Chico Eevee and everybody who's been dumping all the info. Shout out to all you guys for doing the hard work. And I guess thank you to Centro for compiling the info for me here. So appreciation to all of you guys. I know Centro and them don't have the best, relationship. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to provide you, my viewers, with information. So let's continue. But basically, what he translated here was that basically what he's trying to say is Galar existed back then. When Hisui existed back in the time, basically Galar existed as well. And here's what it says. Galar already existed back then. Hometown Muffin, a baked treat made from berries and other ingredients, which is often eaten in the regions such as Galar. It is beloved by a surprising number of Pokemon. Interesting. We're going to blur here for a second and scroll further up because we want to avoid images that are, like a leak. There's an leaked image right here and I can't show you that. But it's basically a noble Arcanine battle, which makes Arcanine look really badass. It's in like a lava area. Arcanine has like massive flames on it. But on the bottom, there is something I can show you though, which is going to be unblurred, but it's this right here. He says, just the person I've been waiting for. My KO wandered off to go play, but they haven't come back yet. Do you think you could help me find them? KO, question mark? You mean Vulpix? Oh, I'm sorry. Back home in Alola, Vulpix were called KO, you see. Ancient Alola. So yes, Ancient Alola is confirmed, okay? Ancient Alola pretty much confirmed at this point, which is pretty sick. Next up, though, you can get a guaranteed shiny Ponyta in a mission. Yes, guaranteed shiny Ponyta is available. You can get guaranteed shiny Ponyta. So just a piece of info you might want to, hold on to right there, guys. I'm going to scroll down a bit because I want to increase the blur somewhat. I just want to avoid by any chances that we get in trouble for this. So let's continue up. So basically, we have more information, guys. There is more time travelers. Now, this is a spoiler, so leave if you don't want to hear this. But Ingo, one of the people from like the battle train or whatever you call it, from Black and White, he's in here, and apparently they describe him in a very interesting manner. So we're going to take a look at what it says here. Basically, he's a time traveler, he lost his memory, and is a warden now. And it says here, and then there were the Pokemon trainers. The ones were called Pokemon trainers were truly devoted to their craft. They always looked towards the next challenge and had Pokemon battles every chance they got, all to help themselves and their Pokemon grow. Ingo is unbelievably good at battling with Pokemon, don't you think? I mean, it's like his knowledge about Pokemon is completely different level. Ingo is a bit like you, He appeared one day from who knows where. What's more, much of his memory seems to be missing. Maybe traveling with you will help fill in some of the gaps in his memory. Ladies and gentlemen, Ingo is in here, so there's more time travelers, which is pretty intense, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, and you can also, like I said, you can get a guaranteed shiny Ponyta in a mission, by the way. And there's a new color for the shiny Ponyta. It looks slightly more white rather than blue. But yeah, we'll continue on though. The characters in the game reference all regions except Unova, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Alola, and especially Galar are all mentioned. So Unova is the only one that isn't mentioned, right? Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Alola, and Galar are all mentioned by name. However, Unova isn't mentioned. And Kalos is a thing. It isn't mentioned either, by the way. Also, to add more context, we meant that both Unova and Kalos aren't mentioned by that character, by that name. So it's likely those reasons didn't exist back then. So Kalos and Unova possibly didn't exist when Hisui existed because they haven't been mentioned anywhere in the game files. Also, there's a nice quality of life change. The move tutor is much simpler now, and you can learn multiple moves at the same time. And you can also change your Pokemon's moves at any time in your party. You can change it, which is just, like you can change like the moves, non-stop. So that's pretty freaking intense. There's a new online mystery dungeon-like feature where you can recover items lost by other players, which is really like strange. But yeah, it's like a bit of a little like, Easter egg type game. It's like, like a side thing. I don't even know what to refer to it as. But it's like a little extra thing you can do basically. So whatever you guys think about it, let me know in the comment section down below. But you can recover items lost by other players, which will be on the ground. So yeah. Also, they have an image of all the Pokemon and like the brand new Pokemon and all their typings. We continue on. They also have all the icons, and there's weirdly enough, there's a new icon that looks like an HDMI cable that's called a linking cord, a string exuding a mysterious energy that makes you feel a strange sense of connection. It's loved by certain Pokemon. Probably a replacement for trait evolutions. Yes, so we probably use this, the linking cord, to evolve Pokemon like, I guess, Porygon or something along those lines, right? But we continue on. Pokemon that are traded. So I guess Haunter, for example, right? You'd use it on them. PLA full list of locations. There's some interesting places though mentioned. Ramanas Island is mentioned, and Turnback Cave are mentioned in the locations. So those are some interesting places that are being brought up. We continue further up. I'm gonna unblur here for a second. You guys can actually look at what we're looking at this point. Basically, we continue on. So, in terms of mechanics and changing how Pokemon works, Legends Arceus is the biggest generational leap ever seen in the franchise. It's not even a new generation, or is it? Asset numbering for new Hisuian Pokemon follow the pattern of a new generation. That would mean this is actually the first Gen 9 game. However, patterns have been broken before. We wait until home data mine, as we'll have a clear answer then. True, we'll have to wait until then. He also says, seriously, there isn't a single negative we can think of from today's leaks. Everything we've learned about the game is just plain great, which is true. The game looks just fantastic. We continue further up. You can actually drown in the game, by the way. That's confirmed. And also, if you throw Pokemon on water, if you throw a Pokemon that's like a flying Pokemon, it will actually fly over the water, like a Rowlet. If you throw like a Ponyta, the Ponyta will actually get like a piece of ground around it, so it's slightly above the water, but still in the water. And yeah, it's kind of weird, man. And also, like, Rowlet can fly while sleeping, so it'll just be like, but like, it's just a bit odd. But yeah, continue on. Also, Typhlosion's flames, we've seen them now. They're only really around its neck, and they're purple, so we do know that. The Decidueye is massive, by the way, compared to the player, and it is the red-colored and like the autumn-colored one rather than the blue one. The blue one is the shiny one. Also, shiny Pokemon encounter in Legends Arceus. So, shiny Pokemon, you can actually catch them. But what's interesting is they actually make a sound. So, if you want to catch shiny Pokemon in this game, they actually make a noise. Like, they make a sound. And, of course, they still sparkle if you see them. But, yes, you can get shiny Pokemon in Legends Arceus. Like, if you want to know how to do it, we don't know exactly 100% how, like, if there's a method, but shiny Pokemon are in the game, and guess what? They make a sound. So if you are playing the game, you want to have your audio on, you want to play with the you know, your headset on, or like you want to play with your audio boosted, because you want to hear that sound if they show up. Just know that. Also, we continue on. So, trainer battle with Hisui in the Decidueye using his signature move Triple Arrows. Also, they also mentioned that you notice that the opponent called their Pokemon back and immediately attacked with their new Pokemon on the same turn, which is intense that they can do that. So you can literally instant switch and attack straight away, which is pretty nuts. And trainers can also 2v1 you. You can be 2v1 by other trainers, which is bloody insane. There also is a whole story dump of all the story, but I'm not going to read that. You can catch all the Gen 4 legendaries and mythical Pokemon in this game. The only other legendaries in the game are the Forces of Nature. So all the Gen 4 legendaries and mythical Pokemon are in this game, and the only other ones are the Forces of Nature, which are the genies, right? So like the Weather Trio. But now it's 4 of them. Also, yet again, there's no new mythical Pokemon in the files for this year's movie. So that's a bit odd. If Pokemon movies are still even a thing, which is a bit odd. But yeah. Also, Samurott in-game, he shows that off, which he looks pretty short. And then, yeah, I don't know. There is also like a recommended thread for Legends Arceus. It uses a new networking library that hopefully will mean starting with this game online will be much better, which would be really good if that's the case. Also, Junichi Masuda didn't work on this game at all. He only supervised the development, but he didn't work on it. This is the first game he hasn't worked on, so that is actually a positive, I would say. Looks like Game Freak really listened to your complaints about the 3D models and increased their workforce considerably. 73 people are credited with working on the Pokemon 3D models versus 42 in Sword and Shield, and 53 people who worked on model animations versus the 38 in Sword and Shield. So yeah, pretty nuts, man. Also, they go on and say, you know, Legends Arceus isn't perfect. There's a lot that can be improved, but still, in terms of breaking the conventions of the franchise, this game is Pokemon's Breath of the Wild moment. It feels like the start of a new Pokemon era, and there's no going back now. The interactivity, freedom, and quality of life changes in Pokemon Legends Arceus should be a bare minimum expected of future Pokemon games. Let's Go was the first mainline Pokemon console game, but this feels like a real attempt at doing justice to that title. Buy it. So, there you go. And also, like, yeah, this game just looks terrifying according to people. While Pokemon can make the player fall asleep and then attack them. That is nuts, man. They can make you as the player fall asleep and then destroy you. Yeah, man, I don't know. Also, we continue on. There is more stuff. Complete list of all the new stats, new Pokemon stats. We can actually show this. I don't think we need to blur this. But here we go. So we got new Pokemon stats. Growlithe, Hisui, you got all of its stats right there. You guys can like pause the video if you want to take a look at them. There's too many for me to read in this one moment. But if you want to pause, you can take a look at it and all that sort of stuff. And we're going to blur again to make sure we don't get into trouble. We continue on though. So, notes on new and updated moves. We got some of that stuff. So, Barbarage, Bitter Malice, Infernal Parade, Bleakwind Storm, Wild Bolt Storm, and Sandsear Storm are all 30% chance to inflict their respective status. Mountain Gale's flinch rate is 30%. Lunar Blessing is 50% recovery, not 25. It's refresh plus recover plus double team in one move. Holy shit. Steel Beam was reworked to be like Chloroblast. 120 BP, 95% accuracy, 5 PP. Both are 50% Mind Blown style recoil. Both lowers the user's action speed. Self-destruct is now a single target, 150 base power, 100% accurate, and has 80% Mind Blown style recoil instead of self-KOing, which is, that's nuts, bro. We'll continue on further though. So, by the way, some people have pointed out this raw data isn't very good as it's still using Sword and Shield's parsers, completely unchanged. The new format for moves will have to be researched first. And yeah, there is some corrections that he made there. Both Earthquake and Scald have been removed. Interesting, Earthquake's not in here, and Scald is removed. I guess I know why Earthquake is gone. It kind of makes sense. Actually, as expected due to new animations, most moves have been removed. So a lot of moves have been literally deleted, which is interesting. Full list of new Pokemon stats, and if you guys want to take a look at that, we're going to show it right here. I mean, it's just, you know, stats and numbers and letters, so we can show that. For real this time. These are the actual ones. So the other ones were incorrect, apparently, which is not nice, man. It's not fun. But yeah, I'll open up this image so you guys can see it clearly here. Let's see. I'm going to zoom out a bit so you guys can see what it looks like. There you go. So pause the video, look at this if you want to. The other ones were incorrect, apparently, somewhat. But these should be 100% correct now. So let's hope that's the case. We continue on further, though. So, apparently, if Pokemon Sword and Shield was the big Pokemon cut, PLA is the ridiculous, enormous move cut. We did warn you months ago about this. It was expected due to completely new animations. In total, there's 850 Pokemon moves. This includes Let's Go exclusive moves, Z moves, and G Max moves. Pokemon Legends Arceus has removed 674 of them. There are 180 usable moves in PLA, so only 180 moves to use, which is a low, but it is what it is. And yes, Eclipse, he even mentioned, Eclipse account got like removed. They're going hard on accounts that originally posted their own screenshots from the game. Yep. Part 2 of abilities posted, and they have like a list of them. Growlithe and Arcanine have Intimidate, Flash Fire, and Justified. Voltorb and Electrode have Soundproof, Static, and Aftermath. There's just loads of just pure data here, and I'll just unblur, and you guys can just pause and take a look at any of these if you want to. Here's some abilities for some Pokemon like Werdeer, Kleavor, Ursaluna, Basculegion, Sneasler, and Overquill. So I'm just gonna you know, blur again. We continue on. The soundtrack of the game is also uploaded by Ancient Muse, Meloette. And the apparently the soundtrack is incredible. It's like in BDSP, the composer just tried to recreate Sinnoh songs very faithfully, and now they have gone completely bonkers with crazy remixes, which actually sounds good. Freeze and Sleep status conditions are gone. They have been replaced with Frostbite and Drowsy. The effects are completely different. Check out earlier tweets. As usual, most of the images and videos I've shared today have been deleted, so they have taken down a lot of stuff. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gents. We have reached the end of today's video. We've gone through everything. If you guys did enjoy the video, then make sure to drop a like down below. And also comment, guys. How many plushies? How many Pokemon did you see here? How many Pokemon did you see today? Ooh, spooky. We'll be changing this every video, by the way. We'll be changing how many Pokemon are behind me. So, yeah, ladies and gents, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. My name is Rolf. I'll see you next time. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.